Hey Clashers, recall attacks are just way better now since the addition of the frozen arrow, because the frozen arrow combined with the archer puppet are both giving huge DPS boost to your queen, and recall attacks in general had always one big issue, and that is the time. But with having your queen turning into a glass cannon kinda, she's dealing so much damage that your attack is getting way faster. So I thought, well, let's just compare the invisibility vial with the frozen arrow, which is typically a common equipment combination on the left, to the right side where we have the archer puppet with the frozen arrow. And then you can see if I'm making things up or if it's actually that much better. The reason why I'm going with the archer puppet over, for example, the giant arrow is because I personally just prefer the health recovery over the total health increase of the giant arrow. That is just personal preference. If you have already put the ores into the giant arrow, I guess you could use that one as well. But the important thing is you want to have double DPS equipments on your queen, which is boosting the stats of that queen massively. And just take a look at that. The queen on the right side is way ahead on the queen on the left, even though we have delayed the rage a little bit. And the queen on the left is even losing her ability while still being slower. This is showing quite a bit. So I thought, well, let's just go to action and see if we can pull this off in some live attacks. But you can tell by now that every single second counts with those recall attacks, and this combination is a lot of seconds saved. If you're wondering what my other equipments are looking like, well, on the Baron King, complete classic combination by now. Archer Queen, as already mentioned, the Frozen Arrow with the Archer Puppet, Warden Healing Tome, and the Eternal Tome, because this works quite well with recall attacks, and then Royal Champion, we have only that option. A lot of times what I like to go for is just the Town Hall, which is a nice key thing, and you can create pathing, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. So Queen first, and we're going to try to create even better pathing with the Flame Fling on the far left. Let's double check if there's any traps. No traps, that's really good news for us. And then let's see that we can take down the Town Hall. That would be the amazing thing. Let's wait for where my Queen is going. She's going to the right. That's perfect. Now 4 healers. Remember, you do not want to deploy 5 healers if you have your unicorn surviving. A lot of times the unicorn is going down quite early, and that's why we can add another healer right here. That should be no problem. We have the rage early, and that's now the biggest downside of this equipment combination, which is, let's be honest, let's face it, we literally do not really have an ability, which means the only thing which happens is we gain roundabout a bit more than, recall her, that was close, but we gain that was a poison, that was supposed to be this, but we're only gaining a couple of hit points back on this queen with her ability, which is around 800 hit points, which is not that much, not that little, but at the same time, if there's a lot of damage on your queen, it's not going to be that much, like it's not going to be the biggest difference maker. So always keep that in mind when you're doing your attacks. For us right now, I think things are looking pretty good. We can already add everything in here. I think a wall break would not go where we would like to have it go. We need to add the headhunter, by the way. Then we can freeze this. We're saving some troops, and then we're getting even further into the base. We have still a Yeti, which we can place on the outside, but so far I would say looking good. Warn ability, catching everything, healing tome, healing everything back up, which is nice. And then we can add the Roy Gem at the top side behind my Yetis and actually wreck this entire base. Overall, the strategy is insanely strong, and I mean, it could get even stronger with future updates, because remember, most of the key troops in this army composition have not gotten a new level on Town Hall 16 so far, and so far most of the troops are getting new level on every Town Hall level. So that is a huge thing to still remember, that this strategy can only get stronger over time and over updates and everything. So I can only recommend this. It's a lot of fun. It's really strong. I think we should just attack yet again, see what we can do with other bases. But as long as you're paying attention to your queen and not losing your queen in her ability, it is just sorry, it's just really, really strong. Really fun to use as well, which I think right now is an important thing. And let's move on to the next attack and hopefully claim another 3-star. We have our next base, and it's all about creating this pathing for your smash attack. So where do we set things up? What are we going for with our queen charge? That's the important question. We could go for, let's Actually, really good question. We could go maybe for the Town Hall again. That could work, and I think that's what I'm going for. It's not going to be the easiest charge, but at the same time, there's not that much damage, so it's all about my queen dealing the damage, which I kind of like, especially with this equipment combination. So wall break in, we have a nice combination there, only 4 healers for now. This time, we're not swaying the poison this time around, we're actually using it in a hopefully better way. Whenever you're not going for like the craziest flinger value or something, I think we could have went from the top side or something, that could have worked. Otherwise, something I like to go for is the siege drill. Works kind of nice. If you are not the biggest fan of the siege drill, you can still go for like the... Oh, that wall break did not go to plan. That's kind of not good for us. You can still go for the siege barracks, which is another nice siege for this strategy. I'm sorry, what is going on? But let's just raise that queen just for the time. We have only 1 minute off the clock. But then I would like to get the smash going into this left compartment. I think if we get the queen and the smash in there, we can jump into the eagle and into the monolith, into the core, into everything. That looks already pretty promising. We triggered another poison tower, which is nice. Now we're adding another healer, adding the warden, so we're speeding things up a little bit as well. And now let's make sure that we're creating the funnel which is needed. And get everything in here. Just like that. Let's get that siege drill in there. Queen so far under a lot of firepower, but I think it should be alright. Open up the next compartment. Exactly like that. Let's freeze that up. King is not going on the inside, but that should be alright. I think that should be fine. As long as the warden is now following. Warden ability now, as everything is a little bit lower on hit points. Adding the Royal Champion on the outside. We have the king on the outside, which is alright. I think that shouldn't be the biggest issue. We can freeze this. King ability, so he's tanking. And this already looks pretty much wrecked. And this is like the crazy thing. Super borders right now are still insanely strong. I just think Warden Walks got really way stronger as well. But at the same point, they're not working that well together with Super Bowlers, because they're getting either with really little hit points, or you have to use the Brand's Warden, which is never as reliable, I would say. So it's a tough call. I feel like Super Witches got a massive buff with those equipment combinations and obviously the new level. But Super Bowlers so far were not on the bright side when it comes down to the Warden Walks, because the equipments are not synergizing that well. But the Healing Tome works really nice. But the Healing Tome is kind of bad for Warden Walks, because it does not give you any DPS as a base stat for the Warden, which means you're probably going to time fail. So this version is pretty much the perfect bowler attack right now. I feel like it's really strong, versatile, and you can use really strong equipments on your heroes, which makes this even better. Okay, we have something like a diamond base, no problem. So the question then is, with diamond bases, typically you either go for the town hall with the charge or with something close by. Both could work on this base, I believe. Kind of depends now on the follow-up, I guess. But I really like the town hall charge, because then we could enter into one of the flanking compartments, and I kind of like the idea here. Let's just do it. So queen first. Let's just funnel early. We can funnel this one here as well, because I think I would just go with the siege drill again. I kind of like that siege machine a lot, especially with like playing with root riders and stuff. I think it's actually really strong overall. Let's get those healers in. That's nice. Queen, please go inside. That would be appreciated. Yes, perfect. Nice. Then we have to raise things up, especially because, as we said, we have to pre-raise. We have to keep this queen alive. This will be probably, when you're trying to pick this strategy up in the beginning, your most common reasons to fail, that you're not paying attention to the queen enough. Because, as I said, she has no second life without this invisibility vial, which makes it sometimes really awkward. But let's recall that queen. And I think we're going in from the top side. But that needs a lot of healing early, so we have to raise things up. Hopefully the queen is staying alive through all of this. Okay, looking good. Now the ice golem and all of the boulders then in here. Just like that. We're going to send this one in here. Some test runes just like that. Wall break as well. And I think so far we're looking pretty good, I would say. Kind of like what I'm seeing at the moment. King hopefully is walking inside. The queen. Let's just use the warden ability. I do not want to use the queen or the bonus hit point just yet, especially because I feel like it would be kind of useless. But let's push forward. King, are you going to come back? No, he keeps circling the base, which is not the worst, but not the best thing either. We can jump here, I believe. That should be amazing. Now raise things up, add the royal gem on the right side. And I think we're looking really, really good. I hope so far. Can we already do some cleanup in the corners? Yes, indeed we can. That's good for us. That's really nice for us. Let's get this freeze going. The queen should eventually target that Single Inferno Tower. I don't think we have to use the invisibility, right? No. Again, the frozen arrow doing a nice job there. Let's get everything here going. Where's the queen? Warden is going down. I would like to keep my queen alive a little bit with how important she is, and especially with the DPS. Wizards added. And hopefully the damage is going to be enough to not end up in a time fail. Remember, this attack would have been literally impossible with the old equipments, because this would have been a guaranteed time fail. Right now, it's close, but we still have the chance, right? Queen. Perfect. So, we're getting it done barely, but imagine we would have had the old equipment. This would have been 100% a time fail. This is what I mean. Recall attacks have this one really, really big issue, and that is time. 3 minutes is not a long timer whatsoever for a recall attack, so you have to kind of adjust your equipment compositions to make sure that your heroes somehow deal more damage. And this double equipment combination from the queen is doing exactly that in this attack. Well, give it a try, see how it works for you. I have to say I overall enjoyed this attack strategy right now quite a bit, and well, as always, the link for that is down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next video. Until then, see ya, and bye-bye.